Owino, I'm a seriously disappointed man. We were given targets as members of the presidential campaign team. I was in that presidential campaign team. And I traversed the whole country. In fact, I went to 285 constituencies out of 290 constituencies. I went to over 1,700 wards campaigning for Babu, because I knew there was change that was coming. And up to now, my mind is not thinking well. I'm disturbed. At times I just sleep and wake up in the middle of the night, asking myself what really happened. But you see, Muredi, we lost an election that was ours. An election that was going to change the lives of Kenyans for better. And this election, we cannot blame Kenya Kwanza. We have to blame ourselves. Within our house, that is where the problem started. Personally, I knew now I would not be sitting in this office, Muredi. Right now, I would be serving Kenyans at a different level as a cabinet secretary, either for interior or education. But look at me now. I promised Embakasi East residents that I was going to give them jobs. Some were going to work in Garissa from Embakasi East, some were going to work in Kisumu, some were going to Nyeri, some were going to remain here in Nairobi, others were going to Mombasa, and even people from various parts of this country were going to get jobs in my ministry. But now again, look at me. Multiplied by 0 and raised to power 0, which is 0. I'm where I was last time. Then at times I say that I ought not to have even joined that presidential campaign team if I would have known the results. But you see, we made fundamental mistakes, but they were by design. Because losing an election is not very easy, especially when you have the government on your side, because it can only by design. But we lost an election when we lost BBI. If you ask me, all these others were just some additional information about losing the elections. But remember, when BBI was brought, BBI was a very good document, but BBI was a document that was designed to fail. But at what point did BBI fail? BBI failed in courts. The moment we introduced a clause of the office of the ombudsman to oversight the judiciary, we lost it at that moment. But the person who brought it in knew that we would lose it at that moment, because judiciary would not pass something that was going to oversight them. Number 2, the introduction of the 70 extra constituencies that was going to increase the wage bill. The introduction of those constituencies was not well designed. They were supposed to be done purely by IEBC, but we brought it in the document. But you see, when we were passing the BBI in various counties, we passed BBI in so many counties. Over 40 counties passed BBI. Then the National Assembly passed BBI. Then Senate passed BBI. Then the problem started in the courts. Why? Because the wings of the courts were to be clipped. But even with that in place, if the president of this nation is the appointing authority, is the one who appoints judges, do you want to tell me if president would have taken his phone and told a judge to pass BBI, would it fail? It would have not failed. But when BBI failed, but before it failed, who were on our side? Literally everybody was supporting us. every other big political party and a small political party in this nation were all supporting BBI, and they signed. But the moment BBI failed, we started experiencing mass exodus from our side. That is the time our speaker, Wetangula, left. That is the time Honorable Honorable Musalia Mudavadi left. That is the time the Speaker of the National Assembly, within that period, left. When I saw the Speaker of the National Assembly leaving, Speaker Justin Muturi, I knew there was a problem, because Speaker was Uhuru's best friend. Best friend, that I know. But the moment he left, I knew that there's a problem. Do you remember there's a time the now President Ruto refused to greet Speaker Justin Muturi in Parliament? He just passed him because there was a problem between the two. But after that, Justin Muturi joined Ruto. Then after that, Waiguru of all the people, Waiguru has always been perceived to be very close to the former President Uhuru. When she had a problem, the alleged corruption case and the alleged Muosho Moja at Capitol Hill, she was very close to Babu. Very close to Babu. Then out of nowhere, she just moved towards Ruto's. She went to Ruto's camp. So this tells you something, that people who were very close to President Uhuru, very close, were moving to Ruto's side, which means that there was unwritten law. There was some form of communication.